Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another Destiny 2 weekly reset video. My name is Story and today is September the 15th, which means one thing. We are running up until September 22nd because that's how things go around here. How you doing? Nice, excellent, great. Should we have a look at what we've got to do in Destiny 2 this week? If you're new to the game, welcome. Come on in, pull up a pew, pour yourselves a steaming hot brew, and regard the tower map. On this tower map are all these funky little icons which represent vendors, and vendors are family, vendors are friends, vendors are love, vendors are life. And all of them will distribute weekly challenges, quests, and bounties for you to sup upon like a fine summer nectar. Even though summer's over, we're getting into autumn territory at the moment. I hope you're all happy about that. I do love the fall. The fall is good. But anyway, if we have a look at spare parts, the vendor challenge from our own gunsmith, complete 8 of his weekly bounties for some powerful gear at tier 1. Gear comes in a variety of different tiers, tier 1, 2, 3, and Pinnacle. Pinnacle is the juiciest, nay, moistest, juiciest, juicenessness that there can be, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. But anyway, Pinnacle is the stuff that will get you past 1050 power and up until 1060 power. That is until next season. Anyway, there you go. There are a variety of vendors in the Destiny universe to have a look at and acquaint oneself with and do all the bounties and stuff. For example, we've got Shax here as well. 8 bounties of powerful gear at tier 1. Same with Zavala, but I've forgotten to pick up my exotic quest there. I've been busy, what can I say? And then we've got, if you're a member of a clan, you can go and have a sniff of this wonderful lady here and earn XP for your business and get some powerful gear, as well as what's going on? My things are not showing. But anyway, there's bounties there, 8 bounties of powerful gear at tier 1. And then don't forget Means to an End quest as well. That'll get you some pinnacle loot if you pursue that, as will the new Prophecy Dungeon. Isn't that beautiful? But anyway, let's race on to the destinations. Look at this map. Everything's going to change next season. Are you excited? I hope so. But anyway, we're going to dive into the Vanguard playlist. There are 4 items on the menu. Daily heroic story missions are your chance to replay favored missions from past campaigns. And then we've got our meat and veg, which begins at Vanguard Strikes here. The challenge is to complete strikes using the same subclass element as the currently active Elemental Burn, if you understand that. So that's 3 strikes completed using a subclass of the Arc variety. So equip your Arc subclass, get into the strike, and do 3 of them, and that'll get you some pinnacle loot. Isn't that fantastic? And we've got daily modifiers here, Blackout and Grenadier. Then moving on, we've got our Nightfall Ordeal. What? Ordeal? Ordeal, if I can English. And drumroll, please, will be, let's see what it's going to be this week. The ordeal is Lake of Shadows. I can hear it. And it's double Nightfall rewards this week. Can you Adam and Eve that? But anyway, 2 weekly challenges here. Complete Nightfalls. The higher difficulties grant the most efficient progress. That basically just run through 3 Nightfalls. For powerful gear at tier 1, then if you want your pinnacle loot, you're going to have to complete the Nightfall with a team score above 100,000 points. So that's the way that works. So there you go. The Nightfall ordeal this week is Lake of Shadows. Then we've got our Nightfall playlist, the vanilla playlist, and that is consisting of Tree of Probabilities, the Arms Dealer, and Scarlet Keep. 2 of these Nightfalls have some specific loot that is very specific to Nightfall strikes. Tree of Probabilities, for example, has the DFA, Dedicated Farming Award. This is a legendary kinetic hand cannon of the 140 RPM variety. The Arms Dealer has the Tilt Fuse Exotic Sparrow. The Scarlet Keep has breath and farts. Nothing is what we get for that, or unknown, as the Bungie API says, but unknown really means sweet Fanny Adam. Anyway, what else have we got to play with this week then? Let's have a look without any delay to that. Anyway, I love the moon. The moon's good, but first we will have a look at the Tangled Shore because that's where our weekly flashpoint is. What's a flashpoint story? Well, see these are public events and it's incoming in 1 minute and a half. Get involved in these public events and complete them and have a look at the planetary vendor, which happens to be Spider. He's lovely. He's a bit on the dodgy side, but, you know, he's still a bit lovely. But anyway, activities completed. Budge that bar to 100% and you'll get yourself some powerful gear at tier 1. So that is the flashpoint on the Tangled Shore this week. Then we can have a look at the moon. I love the moon. The moon is very good, but we're forgetting ourselves here. We're going to go to Gambit because I nearly went off at a tangent then, but you know what? It's one of those days. But Gambit, it's a good playlist. We've got the Reckoning. That is a 1 to 4 player, although I thoroughly recommend 4 players. A match-made activity for the PvE variety with a couple of different flavors. Those flavors there. And their Arc Singe is the modifier for the week. Get stuck into that. You love it. And then we've got Gambit Vanilla and Gambit Prime. 3 of games in either or all of these playlists will get you some powerful pinnacle loot of the pinnacle variety. So that is worth doing if you love it. And then, of course, you can challenge your members of your family to defeat a primeval in a private match co-op stuff. Then moving on, Crucible. We've got 2 types of playlists to sniff in the Crucible. We've got our Rotator playlist, which consists of Momentum Control and Lockdown this week. So that is your Rotator matches. 4 games of that completed will get some powerful gear at tier 1. Then you got your Core playlist, which consists of Rumble, Control, Elimination, Survival, Freelance Survival, and Classic Mix. 4 games of that completed will get you some pinnacle loot, ladies and gentlemen. And if you like to 1v1 people, private matches is definitely the place that you'd go for that kind of activity. Anyway, returning to the moon, one of my favorites here. We've got some Nightmare Hunts. You know you love the Nightmare Hunt. The one weekly is to complete 3 Nightmare Hunts for powerful gear at tier 1. And then the other weekly is to complete a Nightmare Hunt on Master difficulty for your pinnacle loot. And there are 3 to choose from. And the progress is the same, so you can't go and do it many, many times. It's 1 run per character. You know what I mean. Speaking of pinnacle loot, you can get stuck into the Pit of Heresy, defeat Zulmak, the Instrument of Torment. And you can get some pinnacle loot there, as well as the Garden of Salivation raid for your pinnacle loot. You love it. Over in Sorrow's Harbour, there is the Altars of Sorrow. It's a public event with a kind of horde mode, wave activity kind of business. There are 3 bosses which rotate on a daily basis. 1 boss will net you a slug shotgun in the kinetic variety. Another boss will get you an energy sniper rifle of the 140 RPM variety. And then another boss will get you a rocket launcher of the variety. That's how much that works. Anyway, there are some vendors as well to check out on the moon. We've got the Lectern of Enchantment. This activity up here, if you kill 30 nightmares, kill is such a stern word, isn't it? But defeat 30 of the nightmares there for powerful gear at tier 1. And then also, if you complete Eris's Ding Dong, you'll get some powerful gear at tier 1 as well. We're loving all these fine colloquial terms. Anyway, that is the moon. It's one of my favourite activities. On the Dreaming City this week, this just in, it's week 1 of the curse. It's happening. And the Ascendant challenge is in the Bay of Drowned Wishes. So that's right by the spawn, don't you know? But you've still got to travel all the way over there to Petrovenge to pick up your bounties before you can even get stuck into the Bay of Drowned Wishes. So there you go. That is the business as well. So that is the Dreaming City this week. It is your favourite. If you're interested in Escalation Protocol for Mars and other public style events there, the Icolos weapons that happen to be dropping from defeating the final boss are all of them. The shotgun, the SMG, and the sniper. I can just hear you saturating your underwear in excitement right now. I can hear it and I don't want to. I'm going to put my noise-cancelling headphones on now. Anyway, what else is there in Destiny 2 to do? Well, we like to welcome newcomers to the game. We give you a good, strong, firm handshake and direct you over to the vendors again, because we'd like to explain the bounty nomenclature. That is a word and a half, isn't it? But we've got some weekly bounties, 2 of, daily bounties, and additional bounties. Okay, so the weekly bounties will award some XP, some glimmer, and in the gunsmith's case, an upgrade module, ladies and gentlemen. How's about that then? You need an upgrade module to upgrade your gear, funnily enough. And then the daily bounties will award mod components and enhancement cores. The gunsmith's additional bounties only award XP, but we're going to hang on that with a moment of suspense for a little minute, because other vendors, their additional bounties award other things. And we're going to visit that in a moment. while we're at the Gumshoe, while we're at the Gumshoe, there is a material exchange, a helmet armor mod here, and a weapon mod. These two types of mod revolve on the daily resets. That's every 24 hours, these change. So if you're not interested in these, or you've already collected these, just wait 24 hours and come back and have a sniff. Today, we've got a pulse rifle ammo finder and a backup mag. Then, of course, you can exchange materials for materials if you happen to be very wealthy. Thank you, Banshee. And now, for the next part of the bounty explanation, if we go over to Shax here, one of my favourite bounty vendors, his weekly will award pretty much the same kind of stuff with the addition of Crucible tokens, which you can spend to get loot, and Valor rank points, which work to something completely pointless. But anyway, you can't expect everything everywhere, can you? It's 2020. It's where you get a slap in the top lip for trying. Anyway, you've got Bright Dust, which is the key point that we draw attention to here. Now, the daily bounties, they award just the Crucible tokens at the Valor rank point and a bit of XP there. So Valor rank points and XP, blah, blah, blah. But the additional bounties also get you Bright Dust. Why am I drawing attention to Bright Dust? Because if you farm all the Bright Dust from, say, Shax, the Gambit vendor, and the Vanguard vendor, you can spend it in the Eververse store, ladies and gentlemen. How's about that then? This is the store of cosmetics. This is where you either splurge your hard-earned peanut by buying silver, the in-game currency, or you can spend your Bright Dust, because there is a Bright Dust section which we'll visit just a moment, but the weekly offerings are all here. You've got the good, whatever that means. That is the exotic ornament for a hunter helmet. That is the Celestial Nighthawk. We've got an aerial snap kick. We'll inspect these. Look at that, it's a bit spooky. Praf the good. There you go. And then aerial snap kick. It is a finisher. He smashes him into fierce. And then there's Adonis Blue exotic sparrow there. You can spin it around. Place your bets. Then there is some leggy dance, if you're into that kind of thing. And then there's the depository projection that goes on the top of the ghosts like that. And then this little section down here revolves on every 24 hours. So you can come back and check for exotic cosmetics that you may have missed in previous seasons. So it's quite a handy little thing if you're after cosmetics and you're a collector. There's this featured section here where you can have a good look at all the stuff and pre-order things. And then there's, of course, this weapon ornament for the Traveler's Chosen sidearm, which I have neglected to collect. That is on my to-do list. Then we've got some Bright Dust down here. You can get some consumables. We've got an Elegant Twirl emote there. I don't think I've got that. I should probably get it. Then there's the Matter Scourge weapon ornament for Outbreak Perfected. And then we've got another one of those projections here and some shaders. Now, moving on, we've got all the seasonal cosmetics. And be wary, items may become available for purchase after the season ends. So this is all your cosmetics here for the season. If they do disappear next season, they'll end up here in the archive. So you can browse that at your leisure. There's plenty of stuff to look through in there. But here's the culprit, the Bright Dust section. So all the Bright Dust that you can farm by visiting the three main vendors and farming their weekly bounties and their additional bounties, you can splurge it all here. This week we've got Commanding Presence emote, where you've got obvious Titan shoulder pads and you're bent over a desk. So isn't that fabulous? And then you've got the respectful handshake. It's a bit... Is it respectful or is it... yeah. And then we've got the Canopus Wing ship. Looks more like a doorstopper. But then we've got the multi-band shell, which is very cute and nice, isn't it? And then we've got August Corsa, Sparrow, Exotic Sparrow. And then we've got the Heated Exchange for the last nerf right there. And then the Crota's Bane projection for your ghost. A whole bunch of flair to peruse from and consumables. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this week's video. September 15th, running up until September 22nd. So, ladies and gentlemen, have an absolutely fantastic week in Destiny 2. I hope you get all the things that you're grinding for. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and remember, smoke as a kipper. We'll be back for breakfast.